Goswami Pracharine Nirvaseshala Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatadine Namaste Saraswati Deve Goswami Pracharine Nirvaseshala Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari Yashodanandana Janananda Yamuna Tira
Harinam Sankirtanam ki, Vrihat Mridangam ki, Gaur Premanandi, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Grand Glories to Sri Prabhupada. Now Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tiname Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Vrishesha Srinivadi Prasticharya Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
We're all over the place here, aren't we? Normally we have the men on this side and the ladies on that side, but I see you've got it all over the place. You've got the what do we call it? I don't know what you call it. One system. What are we going to do? The candidates for initiation, where are they?
One is here, on your right.
One is there, two are there, three are there. They're all over the place. So then the ladies should be there, but they're not. The men are there and everywhere. And the ladies are there and everywhere. I don't know if we're going to arrange. You arrange or not?
Yeah, we can get some more people over here.
If the men could, some can stay back there if you really want to, but ladies, especially the candidate for initiation should be sat up here, lady, and the men candidates should be sat right there. You boys have to move back. They should be sitting on chairs, on mats or something. Cushions growing everywhere. You can have a chair if you absolutely need a chair, by the way.
Need a chair?
Can you make way? Make way for Abhijit. You may need to give a little bit more room for the men. I don't know, there's probably more men than ladies. One of the reasons we do this is because, regularly during the class the men kind of disappear out the back door, so we keep them all over here so they can't escape. You can get out the window, but that's about it, Okay, settle down.
Do you need the book, Maharaj?
No, it's too late for all of that. I have to apologize, I've been outside in the garden for the last 2.5 hours. 2 hours, freezing cold. And just ran in, not finished yet by the way, but almost. And trying to get the yogi together. Our priest, unfortunately, we had 2 lined up. One suddenly said they weren't going to come on time. The other one said that they were, well, they didn't say it happened, but their mother-in-law left it. No, the mother-in-law had a heart attack, so they couldn't come either. So it kind of fell back on us a day or 2 ago. So having not done these things for about a decade, a bit out of practice. Anyway, and doing it out there and bringing all the power from there to there, and then realizing you haven't got this and going back in and boom, boom, like this. Anyway, some other Krishna's in control, something's happened. So I thought we'd read a verse this morning from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, known to many of you. Many of you know this verse quite well. It's from the Madhya Lila, chapter 19, text 170. It's the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to Rupa Goswami. You'll find this verse in English in the Nectar of Devotion. It's one of the 2. There's one verse in the Nectar of Devotion which is known as the Paribhasa Sutra of the Nectar of Devotion. It's the key verse which captures the entire meaning of the text, basically, or let's say the objective of the text, what the essential purpose of the text is. And that verse is again very well known to most of the devotees, especially those who are initiated will be familiar with it at least. The Nectar of Devotion. What is that verse? Ramchandra. Well, that's another famous verse. It's quoted and it's not from the Nectar of Devotion. It's quoted in the Nectar. Anyadlasakashunam Janakamadinavadin Krishna. It's a very famous verse. And it's considered to be by the commentators on Nectar of Devotion that this is the key verse, and in the practice of devotional service it's the description, in fact, it's also a description of pure devotion. The description of pure devotion, it describes what's called Srup Lakshana and Tatastha Lakshana. Srup Lakshana are the primary characteristics of a subject. Tatastha are the secondary ones. And to give an example using the verse itself, it's that which is...
Excuse me, Maharaj, if somebody needs translation in French,
oh, very good. Where will you do it? Somewhere in the back somewhere. Right in the back. All those, This is, it should be the other way around. The English should be sat in the back, French should be in the front. And one day it will be. One day it will be in French. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. So if anyone else needs French translation, you don't speak French, it's in the back there. Okay. So what are the primary characteristics and what are the marginal, the secondary ones? There's what's contained in devotional service and what is to be avoided. Yamas and niyamas. So in this verse, the favorable ones, let's take the marginal ones first. Means the devotional service is. That's the positive. What is devoid of what? Devotional service should be devoid of. Freed of. Anyadidas, which is any other desire, particularly desires for material sense enjoyment of various kinds, attachments that we have to various forms of material achievements and so on, identifications within this world. Pure devotional service is free of that. Any identification with anything separate from Krishna, basically. And any desire to be for impersonal liberation or any kind of liberation other than Vaishnava liberation. Because that comes from automatically as a side product of devotional service, liberation, freedom from sinful reactions. These are side effects of pure devotion. They happen automatically, but that's not the objective. Freed of that objective, we do not desire to get. We may in the beginning, but pure devotional service is not aspiring to get freed of reactions from this or that. It happens automatically. One is not desiring to gain liberation from this or that, freedom from suffering and so on. They happen automatically. It's not the objective. Maybe one's not desiring for any mystic powers or control of anybody or anything, so one's own senses. And, like that. Anything other than that which is favourable and that which is favourable anukulyena Krishna anushilanam, that the cultivation, the shilanam of Krishna, anukulyena Krishna, that which is pleasing to Krishna. And that is not just something one does as a part-time activity once a week and then one goes into Maya. Not like that. It's anu. Anu means always, constant. It also refers to following the pure devotees of the Lord. So this favourable fruit, the eternal characteristics of pure devotion service is that which is always pleasing to Krishna. Always. Goes under the shelter of the Lord's eternal associates. Now, the other verse, which is very famous in the Nectar of Devotion, there are many very, very famous verses, but the second verse, which is also a description of devotional service, is the one which we'll read today. And you can repeat after me if you know it. Sarvopadi Vinimuktam Tatparadvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktiruchate. And we'll just read through once, twice, because you haven't got it on the board or whatever. Sarvapadi Vinimuktam Tatparadvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktiruchate. And I'm going to read the word for word because it's important to understand these words. Sarva upari vinimuktam. Free from all kinds of material designations, or free from all desires, except the desire to render service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So long. Get the idea. Similar to the other verse we did. Tatpadadena, by the sole purpose of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nirmalam, uncontaminated by the effects of speculative philosophical research or fruitive activity. You can understand it similar to the previous verse in many ways. Rishikena, by purified senses, freed from all designations. Rishika Isha, of the master of the senses. Someone polishing brass. What does that smell? Strong. It smells like polishing brass or something. I think it is. Bhakti. Mystery. Sevanam. The service to satisfy the senses. Bhakti. Devotional service. Uchate. Is God. Translation and purport. By Srila Prabhupada. Bhakti, or devotional service, means engaging all of our senses in the service of the Lord. All of them. Not just one. All of them. We have how many senses? 5 acting and 5 acquiring knowledge, you mean, huh? 10, well done. But there's one more too. Bhagavad Gita says, how many? 11 there, but it says, another place it says 6. 6 senses, including the mind. So 11. And of course you've got your intellect and this and that, but 11 are considered there as our engaging all of them. Not just 1, or even 5, or even 6, but 11. That includes your legs and your arms and a few other things. As well as your nose, tongue, ears, and this one and that. Means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord. For pleasure. Devotional service is founded on this principle of what pleases Krishna. The practice of devotional service is based on the same objective. It may seem to be somewhat, say, incorporating other factors, what we like a little bit, and some comforts and so on. But that's only in relationship to ultimately evolving to pure devotional service. That which helps us to awaken deep within. We have this inherent, it's already within us. Nityasiddha Krishna Prem Sadhikatanai Shravanata Shivachiti Karida. Love of God is already there. Meaning, you could say, unmanifested, covered way within the heart of every living being. It needs to be awoken by the process of Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. The process. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are 2 side effects. There are 2 different translations given. Just one here. Another place you see another. 2 side effects. One is free from all material designations. These are side effects, by the way. They're not objective, ultimate objects. One is free from all material designations, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of the Lord. So by engaging our senses in this way, there's a tendency to be like elephants, not necessarily in physical form, but in behavior. What example does Prabhupada give of elephants in this regards? Ignace?
You will take bath in the river, and you will go out, and you will put
roll in the
mud again.
Mud. The mud of mundane designation. Things where men, women, this thing, that thing, doctors, nurses. You have to do your duty in life. Lord Chaitanya, one of his primary premises of his Krishna conscious movement is Nādi Prona Chanara Pratina Pivaishana Shudra. Vanina Chivir Pachino Vidastamiti. What's the second part? That is the Tatastha Lakshana of the verse. Naham Viprona Chanara Pratina Pivaishana Shudra. Naham Vanina Chivir Pachino Vanasto Yatirva. What is that? I am a Brahmin, I am a Kshatriya, I am a Vaishya, I am a Shudra, I'm a Brahmachari, I'm a Grihastha, I'm a Vanaprastha, I'm a Sannyasi, I am this body, right?
No.
No? Who said no? Somebody said no. You disagree with me? One of the offences against the holy name, isn't it? No, na means not. Naham, I'm not this and that. I'm not this man, woman. We have to act according to our position, obviously. A lot of people today are artificially acting in this way. No, I'm not a man. I'm not a woman. I don't know what I am. Something in between. Today I'm a man, tomorrow I'm a woman. Prabhupada said that to one devotee, one person was coming. One day they dress like a man, and the next day they come dressed like a woman. Prabhupada said, make up your mind who you are. Stick with it. And that's a false designation, but still we have to work with it. We have to work with these senses and this mind and what have you. And occupy it, use it in Krishna's service. So it's not us, but it's Krishna's energy. We have to use it in Krishna's service. That's another major premise of Lord Chaitanya's teachings. Everything should be used in the service of the Lord. So, anyway, these are the secondary characteristics, but the primary characteristics is Gopi Bhakta Padakama, Das, Anudas. Otherwise, if you're not a das, you're an ass. One or the other, you choose what you are. Prabhupada gave it. No, Prabhupada didn't. In Los Angeles, 1968, 69, one kind of playboy was coming to the temple from kind of a guy who was working in the theatrical work, so to speak. And he kind of befriended the devotees. He thought he could get something out of, maybe pick up something novel here. So he begged them for a name. I also want one of your names. Shamsundar Das, Das, or whatever their names were. He thought, I want one of those names. Please give me a name. Yes, we'll give you a name. They gave him Go Mudadas. He didn't know what it meant. He was very happy. My name's Go Mudadas. You know what that means? What's Go Mudadas? Baba Sindhu? I'm not referring to you, please. Don't get me wrong. What's it mean?
Muda, it's an ass.
An ass. What is Go Muda?
The servant.
You could say, in this case, Das is servant. You're a servant of a sense-gratifying ass. Go Das means one who serves the senses. So, asses, they know nothing else. Materially speaking, everybody in this world is a Go Muda, isn't it? Let's face it. We're a bit Go Moody as well. And we get very moody. Go Moody. This is not the mood of the Vaishnava. And his primary characteristic is das, servant, servant of the servant, 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 ultimately of the gopis. So these are secondary characteristics, to be freed from designations, but they're important. Whereas sometimes more emphasis is placed on that because we're so rooted in our designations, so attached to it. Our condition is not just the name of what we were doing, it's the concept of how we see things, how we perceive things. We perceive things through our conditional natures, which are imperfect perception, guaranteed. Everyone's seeing it wrongly. And one of the aspects which, again, we never have time to get very deep into these things, but the process of the change of initiation is an essential aspect of perceptual change. One is purport. It's a very long purport, so bear with us. Please concentrate. This verse, quoted from the Narada Pancharatra, that's Sarva Upadi when we chanted together. This verse, quoted from the Narada Pancharatra, is found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion 1.1.12. End of purport. So we're going to ask you questions on the purport now. How many words was the purport? Very hard question. No, we won't go there. But what we are going to do is to take up, if Krishna allows, some comments which Prabhupada made on. He gave a lecture in many places. I think in 1968. He spoke, you won't find it, but he spoke an initiation lecture in Los Angeles, early days of ISKCON. We sometimes think we're much more sophisticated now, more advanced. The movement has grown. We don't. Prabhupada was just talking to neophytes. Okay, well, we probably understand we're still a bit of a neophyte now, even. Aside from that, the situation remains the same. Persons who are coming to Krishna consciousness now, they may have slightly different bodies and conditionings, but they're still equally, if not more, conditioned than they were in 1968. Isn't it? It's not that new people are coming now as Brahmins. Are they? Harini here? Is Harini here? Are they, when they come to Studio 108, are they all Brahmins, all the new people? They're all following all the principles, getting up at 4 in the morning, taking 3 baths a day, chanting non-stop Vedic mantras. I doubt it. They're usually the hardest ones to convince to be Krishna conscious anyway. You know, it's the same thing as it was in 1968. New people were coming. Maybe, different dress, different music, but the same thing, different drugs. Same thing. The same, you could say the same requirements. Maybe, again, different dress, different this, different that, maybe there, but the same principle is there. There are completely, their concept of life is not at all Krishna conscious. It's completely self-centered in most cases. As Prabhupada says here, they've rebelled against the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We're in this world because we're rebels. We rebelled. And the process, well, Prabhupada would usually start his initiation ceremonies with a talk. Sometimes he didn't. In this case, a bit of both. He started out by chanting the famous prayer, which we will mantra, which we chant before initiation, Om Apavitra Pavitra Vasa Vasa. The process of purification. Well, before I didn't forget, I didn't have time yesterday in the class. Wasn't time to go forward. But I wanted to remind, many of you are not aware of this, but did you see that painting at the back there? Up on the wall. See the Brahma pointing to it? You can all see it, if you wait, maybe it's a bit covered by decorations, but you can probably make it out. This is, of course, Krishna and Balaram, the cows. Now, this painting manifested here about 5 years ago. It's an original painting. An original. Painted by one of the most famous artists. He left his body about a year after painting this. Ramdas Devi Ram, his wife, what's her name? Preeti. Painted this beautiful artwork and donated it here, or it was paid for by someone else. It was donated here to the temple. This is one really a unique piece of art, to say the least. And really I wanted to mention this because it really captures the whole mood of Vrindavan. And Krishna Balaram, if you're in the mood of Sakhiras, at least, it draws you in like a magnet. Draws you so magnetic. You just enter into the Lord's pastimes. And that's our process, beginning with initiation, to bring us into those pastimes, to take us, not take us like in a car. Taking means removing all of these falsities from our consciousness, and awakening that pure, unadulterated love for Krishna. And that's called the surrendering process. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita Krishna says sadhu body. Sorry, sadhu, it starts with another body. Same thing though. What did he say? The last, practically the last instructive words of the Lord. What's the last verse? 18th chapter. Savadana Paricharya Mamikam Savanam Vriyaham. What does that mean? What does it mean? Give up all?
Just abandon all kinds of religion.
All forms of religion. Now what he's referring to here is there are different types of dharmas. Spadharmas. There are eternal constitutional dharma, which is another thing, is constitutional. Give up everything that's not constitutional. That means modern religion, Naimitika Dharma, is based on conditions, it's relative. It's a relative practice. It's not absolute practice, it's relative. To achieve various relative purposes, liberation, freedom from sinful reactions, satisfaction of your senses, placing yourself in a heavenly situation. These are all mundane and relative objectives. So give them all up, even the practices which may be secondary practices of bhakti. Give them up. Sometimes knowledge and yoga and things may be used as assistance. Like, when you were broken legs, Vani Bhushan twisted his ankle, he got 2 crutches. But when his ankle gets better, is he still going to walk around with his crutches? Maybe. Normally not. You get rid of them. Don't need them anymore. You need them in order to walk. Once you can get healthy again, you don't need them anymore. These things are no value. So the only thing that's of value is pure devotion service. Everything's contained within. That's the surrendering process. That we're willing to let go. Initiation means that we're willing to let go of these. Eventually, maybe in this stage we need certain things. But it's the stage. Initiation is the beginning. We've already started. The Buddha start from day one. Prabhupada said as soon as you get one time in Vrindavan, Prabhupada was telling us in Vrindavan, he said, when you initiated, you went to Prabhupada's room, and Prabhupada gave initiation. And that's a funny story. But along with that, question was asked about initiation, where do you stand, and so on. And Prabhupada said, anyone who's got my book, they've already started. They're already initiated. It's not the same initiation, there are different levels of initiation. Today we're having initiation, non-diksha. Initiation means that which changes the heart. Diction. That which evokes a change in the heart. Knowledge, practice, whatever it may be. But they're asking you to go to the kitchen. Or wash the pots or something. That's a good test for your initiation. See how you react to it. Change of heart means we change the way we react. Well, don't remain. It happens naturally. It's not we have to force it. If we're actually progressing, we won't get affected by causes of disturbance. And so you read it in the Bhagavad Gita. It's all there. So the surrender, where we try to understand things or accept things from Krishna's perspective, not just from our own, either individually or collectively, but from Krishna's perspective. That's very small. There's no question. Without surrender into that, Prabhupada says here, there's no, I'm just taking a few snips out of the lecture. There's no question of making any spiritual progress. The lecture was 1 hour and 30 minutes long, including the name. And I jump over this. Prabhupada says there's only two kinds of living entities. Contaminated or liberated. In this case, the word liberation means with Krishna, means in Krishna consciousness. There is no third condition. There is no third condition. You can say, we're back and forth, but we're either one or the other at that moment. It can't be both at the same time. If there's a mixture there, that means we're still contaminated. You can say, I'm a devotee, I've got my material house. That means you're following the devotee. You're following the path of devotional service to serve the devotees. And there's obviously, from this Janananda, obviously there are devotional tendencies of awakening. But we're still contaminated. We're not healthy yet. So that's the process of devotional service, to become liberated in the real sense of the word. Because nobody can enter into the kingdom of God without being completely pure. There may be different ways of purification, but we don't depend on honorary degrees. We make our effort, knowing what it means. First of all, we have to know what it means to be a pure devotee and what the process of becoming a pure devotee is. We're not in this world to do what we want. We're in this world to do what Krishna wants. At least that's what we should be. Most of us are not, maybe, but certainly in the world in general they're not. Completely pure means anyavilasita shunyam. So that's the one side of it. Pure doesn't absolutely mean what it means to be a devotee, but it describes one side of it. That you have no desire other than, related, no selfish desire whatsoever. No objective, no agenda of one's own, other than pure devotion. You have to keep yourself always antiseptic, pure, by remembering Krishna. I'll come on to that a little bit more as a key line. Keeping oneself antiseptic. You know this word antiseptic?
Yeah.
You worked in that world. Ekanath Prabhu was a fireman, and you had to know all about first aid and paramedics. He knows all these things. What is antiseptic?
Prevention of infection.
Prevention of infection. Is that right?
Yeah, we can say that.
Should be, isn't it? Yeah, it should be. That, yeah, and we can say that. Antiseptic means, septic means septic, poisoned. Anti-poison. Antiseptic. Keep out the poison. If we take the poison, then, we're like the elephant bathing. We chant your rounds, and then we go on the internet and watch some movie. We chant our rounds, go to class, and then we start talking about mundane things. We chant our rounds and read some books, go to class, jump around in kirtan, and then we go out and eat at McDonald's. Not that bad. But you get the idea. We drift off to what we really heard and what our intentions. So that's a stage in the stage of Bhajana Kriya. It's a stage. The stage of transcending that is to heal. Vishnu Chakravarti, I wanted to read this. Just maybe the other day, but didn't get around to it. How this takes place. That if we hear Krishna Katha amongst neophytes, one can practice devotional service. But if we want to become free of anarthas, as he describes, we have to hear from those who are free of anarthas. We have to hear from those who are purified. Hear the same topic from them, or in our association, is the process of purifying the anarthas. Otherwise it's a very slow process. Krishna knows. Now what's it based upon? Our desire. Do we really want? Do we want to let go, or do we want to hold on? Do we want to actually, let go of our mature designations or not? And so that's what Krishna knows. And he will arrange accordingly, at least to give us the chance. We make our choices. We get what we desire and what we deserve. We don't blame anyone. It comes back to our desire. Keep ourselves antiseptic. Try to avoid going into the different hearers. One of them is a swan hearer. The swan hearer is, we know a swan is very expert at separating the milk from the water. He's expert. We may not be so expert as a swan hearer. Probably not. When we go on to things like YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, maybe that's, I don't know. But these other things, the tendency is innocently starting it, and then suddenly you get trapped. You get captivated by something. And it's a trap. It is a trap. Captivated, captured by something else. And there's a danger there. It's full of it. The world Maya's business. Kali Yuga is very prominent. Kali's business. So many things get caught up in arguing, so many deviations. And of course anger and so many things may come up within us. So we have to keep ourselves antiseptic, and that's the process by trying to keep, and Prabhupada describes Ambarish Maharaj as being an example of how we can be antiseptic. He didn't waste a single moment out of 24. He was engaged in service. And that's pure devotional service. Another definition in Nectar Devotion of pure devotional service is to constantly engage one's senses 24 hours a day in the service of the Lord. It's not like we don't have a break. We may need to rest because we're not on that level, physically speaking or emotionally speaking, but we're always trying to engage in devotion. That's what we're here for. It's not like 3 hours a day job. Devotional services. See? Confirmed. 24 hours a day. One day. So, Kirtaniya Sadhari, always engaged. Always. That's the process. Very enthusiastic. So we're keeping an antiseptic process by remembering Krishna. So whatever, one of the ninefold processes of devotional service, we have to keep ourselves as busy as we can. That's how the heart changes. That's how we get freed of the designations and so on. Serving the devotees, we're freed of all vice. Great service is done. By such service, one develops an attachment or affinity for hearing about the Lord. And otherwise, Maya is always there for us, always waiting there. As soon as you forget Krishna, then immediately Maya. everything. What is Maya? Maya means, from another angle of Maya, plan, always planning how to become materially happy, how to satisfy my senses and mind, always. How to satisfy my mind and senses in the Hare Krishna movement. Isn't it? Sometimes we like that, you know. We come here to try to satisfy our mind and senses, not in the absolute way of satisfying them, but in a conditional way. What's going on out there? Is he lost? Is he hungry? Is she? Namacharya's out there?
It's checking. It's checking now.
Okay.
They're waiting for you again.
Oh, they're waiting for the yogi. We're having a yogya, by the way, out there underneath the tree. Just to let you know, that tree over there is still standing. Srila Prabhupada sat under that tree and gave initiation in 1976 in the spot where we set up the kund today. These beads here, Namacharya, one branch fell off. Long beads, I can't get them set here. They are carved from one of the branches that fell off that tree where Prabhupada sat under when he gave initiation. So, how many cows are ready for initiation? How many? 3. They're all following the reg. Anyone else ready, or is it just the cows? They go round and round more than 16 times a day around the property. They're following the 4 regulated principles, I think, aren't they? Are they following it?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're all following the 4 regulated principles. They don't go out drinking or anything. They stay here all the time. They never go. They don't watch movies or.
They do service 24 Maharaja.
24 hours a day service, eating the grass and giving the milk, and mooing, and giving cow dung. They're fully engaged in devotional service. If only we were. Really excited about that. But this plan making, we're always making plans how to satisfy myself, isn't it? Think about it. I mean, there's material and spiritual and everything, but mostly it's mixed. It's not purely material, it's often mixed. And it will be, but we want to become pure. So there's processes there. Initiation being a key factor. So this plan-making business is Maya, because that will never be successful. Never. Separate from Krishna, you will never succeed. Even here in France, there's one very heroic and famous, Prabhupada quotes him many times, personality was a big plan maker, but his plans, he only goes so far. No. So Prabhupada said here, so in this way, when you're frustrated in this type of plan-making business, then the Vedas give, now your all plans have failed. Surrender. Surrender. Now try to understand what is the truth, what is Brahman. So this way, this initiation also. Initiation means the first beginning, how to become purified. And at this initiation, Prabhupada was teaching the devotees on the spot as they came up with their names and beads, how to chant on beads. They'd never done it before. He gave them the beads and said, you hold the beads like this, and you chant like this from one side to the other. They'd never chanted on beads before. They got initiated. Times have changed, but they haven't. The heart hasn't really changed that much. Maybe the externals have. This is initiation, how to become purified. Initiation means the process of purification. So those who are going to be initiated today, they should remember this. Not only they, all of us should remember it is not that we have passed all examination. Sometimes I'm initiated, now I can do what I like. No. All of us should remember that we're here for purification. Brahma Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvastam Rutupivala. And that initiation, purification, remembering the personality of God. No, Maya is very strong. At any moment she can touch us. As soon as, just like a virulent type of disease, as soon as a little negligence, there is relapse immediately. We can very easily be captured by that. We are so antiseptic. Beautiful. So the initiation means separate path of purification. And whilst chanting the holy name, as today is now Kriksha, training is the tongue. Training, chanting Hare Krishna. Let it taste Krishna and Krishna. Two things. The purification primarily is impossible with impure senses to really understand Krishna consciousness. We have some theoretical acceptance, some faith, obviously some previous practices there. So we have some inclination, some faith, strengthened in the association of devotees and by years of practice. But it's still maybe not completely purified. Dakshi Krishna Namadina Bhava Graimindriya Seva Mukha Hijivadu Svameva Sprutida. But our material senses, contaminated senses, we cannot really understand or see, what to speak, see the transcendental nature of the holy name, the Krishna's form, and so on. We see what we see, and hopefully we're attracted to what we see, the deities and so on. But we have to train ourselves, Prabhupada says here, beginning with the tongue. Jivamukha. Engage that tongue. Daksha Krishna Nabhini Bhava Gravely. Sevamukha. Sevamukha. Beginning with the tongue. Service beginning with the tongue. So Prabhupada, train the tongue. Always chant Hare Krishna and only take prasadam. Very simple thing. Those who are taking initiation, I mean, we probably didn't even have to say it. It was understood. Anyone, not maybe in the beginning, but when we joined, it was kind of understood. We just kept chanting Hare Krishna as much as we could. Not 16 rounds, I mean all day long, as much as we could. And never even thought, I mean, even the word cake was like, a dirty word almost. Like a dirty cake? What are you talking about? Go and get married. Make your own cakes. It was like a dirty word almost. Never saw. Or to speak of mattress or pillow. These words are no longer in the dictionary. Hot water, that was like, enough to, be kicked out of the temple if you asked for hot water. You remember Mandakini? You remember? Very place? No hot water. I don't know about the ladies. I never went in your bathroom. I don't know.
It was no shower.
You didn't have a shower.
Just one bad shower.
Yeah, well, when Prabhupada was there, it was the same shower. But you may have had hot water. We didn't. We just had cold water. We had no bed, no nothing. I know what I'm saying. We're not going back to that. Don't worry. I'm just saying that training. We never thought about, talking Prajalpa. Speak of listening to it. Training, chanting Hare Krishna, and let it taste Krishna prasadam. It was only prasadam, no way you'd eat anything outside you. Even the idea of a soft drink was like, whoa. And just anyone, no one had a single penny between them anyway to buy one. You couldn't get one if you wanted. You have to beg it or steal it, maybe you got one like that. I don't know. Training the tongue, very important. First of the 6 senses, to train. So those who are going to be initiated, especially, everyone should note it. We should train our tongue not to talk nonsense things. Simply talk of Krishna. You have to talk about your service, obviously. Some other things now and again. We have got so many subject matters. We've got Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, many books. hundreds and thousands of Upanishads, Vedas, Vedanta. You may select. Just talk like Ambarish. Savayemana Krishna Padada Vinda Chunksi Vakunta Banana. So just try to utilize your tongue. It doesn't matter whether it is contaminated or purified. The process is purificatory. You just train your tongue nicely, engage in Krishna. So if you can talk, you go. Preach, talk of Krishna, talk of Gita, Bhagavatam, lecture anywhere. Then you'll be doing the best service to the people and yourself. If you think you are unable to give speeches, just chant Hare Krishna and eat prasadam. There's no difficulty. Train the tongue. Say Mukha Iti Vado. 2 things. Very simple. And in chanting the holy names, besides constantly chanting, Prabhupada did then talk about the chanting of the holy name, the 10 offences, and he included to be inattentive as one of the 10 offences. In the early days, it was included as one of the 10 offences. It is also, we say, instead of 10 offences. Prabhupada used to quite often merge the two, the glories of the holy name and interpretation into one. Now we split into 2. But inattention, this is practically speaking the key factor in chanting the holy name, is to try to hear. Prabhupada was saying that I should clearly hear each word. He said if you're chanting and you're thinking of Krishna, that's not so bad. But anything else is mechanical chanting. It will not really be so effective. It will be at least very slow. Very slow. And our tendencies won't change. The change in the tendencies is describe it in different ways, but it really comes down to associating with Krishna, pure Krishna consciousness, Gita. So when our chanting is attentive, that is the path, you could say. It's not the end, it's the path of becoming changed. Krishna is Pavitram, he changes the consciousness. He's in the heart, he cleanses our consciousness, so we see things from his perspective in the Omniyah. Purifies our consciousness, so we can see things clearly. And that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj particularly is evoked by exposing ourselves to the sound vibration of the holy name. We have to expose ourselves. It's like when a film is exposed in the sunlight, the film is eradicated, right? You take in camera. All those, negatives, we clear that by exposure to the pure sound. That's the secret. Not a secret, it's just a practice, which is hard to do, but that's the process. We try to hear the name carefully, but also each word, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then for 16 minutes on bass, chanted like that. Following the order of the spiritual master, we chant according to his directive, not according to our own speculation. It will not perfect, we speculate. We may like to chant silently, we may like to chant this way and that way, standing on our heads, or whatever you like to do. Flipping the beads backwards, upside down, and all kinds of things you may like to do, but we chant according to the spiritual master's directive. That's the effective. So the 10 offences against the holy name, very quickly. First offence, someone can say. This will block us from progress. We will not develop a taste, we will maintain this offensive mentality. First one? Blaspheme. The devotees who have dedicated lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord. The big topic, no time we won't talk about it. Second offense. Demigods like our Shiva put to a dependent name of Vishnu. This is Mayavad philosophy. That's why it's sometimes said to be the biggest offense. The second one is Mayavad philosophy. The biggest biggest barrier to pure devotion, so it's more than sinful activity. It's Mayavad mentality. Very deeply ingrained in most people. It comes out in different ways. Third offense. Disobey the order of the spiritual master.
consider him ordinary human being.
Very well done. Consider him an ordinary, not to consider him an ordinary.
You should not consider him.
It's an offense to consider. He's represented, even if the initiating spiritual master, the Siksha Guru, whatever we say, obviously they should be on the highest platform of pure devotion. But they're following a pure devotee, and that's their service for whatever reason. They're following. It's like a policeman. He may not be the most, learned or most even cultured person in society, but you have to follow him when he gives his instructions. Otherwise you get the government down on him. He's representing the government, representing his spiritual master. Fourth offense.
Blaspheme the Vedic literatures or any literature pursuant to the Vedic
Yeah, Prabhupada was saying his lecture, Bible, Quran are also in the Vedic line. That doesn't mean that, if you interpret it or rewrite it, that's different. But in principle they are. They're leading to the same goal. So in a very preliminary stage, but they're still all part of the same purpose. Fifth offense.
Chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
And others give some interpretation also on the holy name of the Lord. We don't admire that, is give some interpretations. Or you may, imagine what it's all about. What's the seventh offense?
Commit sinful
Sinful acts. It's very common amongst many people. Sometimes they will think, I just chant Hare Krishna and I can get away with anything, either subtle or gross. You may not seem to get the effect, but it does. It subtly affects us, and it does not remove certain obstacles on our path. When we associate with mundane sounds, with mundane things, reading mundane books and so on, it may seem quite innocent. It may not be considered to be like a papa, mahapapa, sin, but it covers our consciousness, enthusiasm, everything will dwindle, or whatever negative conditions we have will continue. They won't actually subside. They'll continue. Our devotional service will be constant. We'll be like the elephant, constantly up and down. Eighth offense.
Consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities of
Often the Lord is referred to activities. That is not, it's a spiritual purpose. It's not here just to achieve material, temporary material gain. Ninth offense. Faithless person that we love the holy name. 10th offense.
not have complete faith.
You don't have complete faith in chanting of holy name, maintaining material attachment. Now we all have a tendency, otherwise we'd be pure devotees. These 10 offences are every one of us has got, otherwise we'd be pure devotees. We have a complete taste for hearing and chanting about Krishna, which we don't. So we understand where, initiation is not that one is without these, it's the practice of becoming free from these offensive relationship with Krishna. And that's initiation is an important stage of connecting with the Parampara. Nisargadatta is a stage of surrender. And Prabhupada said when we say this word, in fact in this occasion he had people put the word Namaha in front of Om Apavita Pavitra. The word Namaha means surrender. No more. So we're practicing surrender, but this is a stage of surrender. Important stage. To make that commitment, to make that endeavor. We have a lot of work to do. It's fun. It's a challenge. We heard from Mandakini the other day. I was shivering I was scared stiff of going in the oven. Ever since you gave that lecture the other day, I won't go near an oven. That was scary, Mandakini. I never knew you were like that. Putting us all in the oven. Did you hear that lecture the other day?
Yes.
Yes, you heard it, right? That poor teapot was, the teacup was like having a hell of a time. Unbearable pain. I hope it's not that bad. Is it that bad? Is there any relief? Is there any fun there? It seemed like the teacup wasn't getting much fun. It's a lot of fun. Hare Krishna, when are you heading back to London? I'm not trying to get rid of you, don't get me wrong. I want you to stay. Are you going back to London today?
Yeah.
What time?
No.
How are you going? On the with the
the
cows. The cows are calling you. Thank you very much. Priya Prabhu, all bless your service. Thank you. Great supporter of New Mayapur. Thank you so much, Prabhu. We will see you soon. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yeah, safe journey. Help into the door, car, or whatever. Thank you, bro. So, we're ready to go on with the show. Okay. So we'll proceed outside. No, we have to give the names now, is it? Names? Name giving in here. Is that okay? But we can't, really. How are we going to do it? Maybe we should do it out there, I think. But what I want you to do is, because all the Ashraman cups are out there, the beads are here, but we have to get them out. So what I want you all to do now is this. I've got another 10 minutes of preparation out there now. Some of you may want to go for prasadam, quite rightly so. And please join us afterwards if you want to take prasad. If you want to come and join us straight away, that's even better. We do need somebody there, at least. At least the initiates should come out. Nobody else. Huh? The cows are there, yeah. They'll be mooing away. They'll moo you on. And your name is Your name is Sarabi 1, Sarabi 2, Sarabi 3. Your name is Kapila 1, Kapila 2. Yeah, so I'm going out. But I would request, and if you can, I don't know. What do you think? Should they take breakfast and then come? I'm bewildered, to be honest. I got at least 10 or 15 minutes of preparation to do. What do you think best?
Initiates have to fast.
The initiates, they have to come with you right away.
But they're going to have to sit there chanting.
Yeah,
come out and have a kirtan for like 15 minutes, okay?
Start to chant.
No, I can start because we couldn't start till 6:30 almost. It was dark, right? And then we were hobbling around out there in the cold. It was very slow. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? Ready? I bought the axe. We got the axe out there as well. Don't worry. Chop out the illusions. We heard the play. Yes, we got the axe. The axe is still there, isn't it? Not as easy as that. So we're going to go out there. We're going to have. You can join me if you want, and we're going to have kirtan all the way to the ISKCON. Okay. And then I hope the mats are down on the floor already.
Yes.
Okay. Amacharya Prabhu had to sacrifice his whole morning program this morning, helping to get this together. And not only this morning, even before this morning, he was getting things ready. Early in the morning, he was getting things ready. Bricks, sand, boards, this, that. Baladev was cutting things up. And the Brahmins came and just watched. No, they did something. We watched the cowboys doing all the work out there. Hare Krishna. So excuse all. Well, it's everything to excuse it. Excuse all the faults. There's an ocean of faults in our efforts this morning in preparing the ISKCON and everything else around it. But we try to do something. And say I'm a bit out of practice. Especially when your fingers have gone numb. What to do? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. to go outside.
Names will be given
Huh?
The names will be given outside.
Names will be given out there as well. It's a little complicated. And it's going to take a little while. I know there's going to be things missing. I don't even know if the altar is set up or not. Is the altar set up? I hope so.
Well, Vishnu Jan is there.
Yes, that's good. I hope the altar is there too.
The Murti is there, yeah.
That's one thing he loves doing. So out to the kun. Nama Vishnu Padaya. Oh, initiate candidates, are you still here? Are you here, the candidates?